Hello, beautiful viewers. Welcome to my channel. Hope your day is going well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Zooey Deschanel and her fiancé Jonathan have James Corden to thank for their love. The female who has taken Jonathan off the market. Who's that girl? It's Zooey. Fans are still wondering if arrangements have been made 2 years after he asked. Fans, friends, and family were all very happy when the couple announced their engagement in 2023. They are one of the cutest couples in Hollywood. In August, Jonathan looked back on the day Zooey said yes and remembered how special it was. Jonathan said in the post, with wedding emojis, "Oh, how time flies when you are in love. I put a ring on that finger on August 13th, 2023. I guess we should work this out. I adore you." It was the best tease for fans, making them wonder if we would witness the big day soon. But first, let's look at how the pair met and fell in love. Zooey and Jonathan initially met in 2019 while filming the same episode of James Corden's Carpool Karaoke. In the episode, Jonathan's brother Drew and Zooey's sister Emily, who is also a star on Bones, joined them. A source says that the two got along right away and had a really fun day. At the time, Zooey was married to producer Jacob Petchenik. But soon after she met the property brother, she said she and Jacob were no longer together. A friend of the couple told People that they had been apart for a few months before the announcement. A week before the news broke, Zooey was seen holding hands with Jonathan. A source who confirmed the dating rumors to People said, "It's new, but they're having a great time together." Making their love known to the world, Zooey and Jonathan confirmed their relationship when Zooey posted a picture on Instagram of them with Jonathan's brother Drew and his wife Linda Fan at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. Zooey went to the Halloween-themed wedding of Property Brothers actor JD's older brother not long after they posted their first pictures on Instagram. Zooey and her friend dressed up as Batman and Catwoman. Zooey wrote on pictures of their clothes, "It's the first time I've ever been Catwoman escorted to a fancy dress party wedding by Batman." Two also walked the red carpet together for the first time at the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards that same year. Scott told People that the get-together on date night was about one of their mutual passions. He said, "Yes, this is our first red carpet together because she is also a big supporter of independent and documentary films. So, it's very important for us to be here and support this." Zooey's 2 kids, Elsie and Charlie, were also part of the surprise when Jonathan asked her to marry him on August 13th when they were on a family trip to Scotland. They both posted on social media that they were engaged, saying, "Forever starts now," with a selfie of them smiling. Celeb friends including Hannah Simone, Jake Johnson, and Max Greenfield, who were in Zooey's hit sitcom New Girl, left comments on their post congratulating the newlyweds. Hannah Simone, who played Cece, Zooey's best friend on the program, said, "I love you. This is really great." Jake Johnson, who played Zooey's roommate and love interest Nick on the show, also said, "Congrats." Zooey's prior relationships. Zooey had been married twice before she met her fiancé. Zooey was married to Ben Gibbard, the lead singer of Death Cab for Cutie, before. In 2009, she met him and he asked her to marry him that same year. They got married in 2009, but they didn't get divorced until 2012. Zooey said at the time that the divorce was because of irreconcilable differences. After Zooey divorced Ben, she met her second husband, Jacob Petchenik, and things got hot again. They met while working on the 2015 movie Rock the Casbah. In January 2015, Zooey said yes to Jacob's proposal, and 6 months later they got married. They have 2 kids together, Elsie Otter, who is 8, and Charlie Wolf, who is 6. Zooey was so in love that she converted to Judaism for her then-husband. Zooey declared her breakup with Jacob in 2019, though months before she met her now-fiancé, Jonathan. "We really think these two are relationship goals right now, and we can't wait to see what they have planned for the big day." Jonathan Scott tells us whether he and Zooey Deschanel would leave LA. "For the country life, only for you." The couple, who got engaged in August 2023, now lives in their LA home that they worked on for 2 years to make better. Jonathan Scott might be thinking about moving to the country because of his new HGTV show, but he needs to get his fiancée Zooey Deschanel on board first. Jonathan, 47, talked to people about his new show Chasing the West, which stars his twin brother Drew. He said that filming the show brought back memories for him and even made him want to go back to his ranching background. He claims that working on the project made him crave living in the country so much that he would absolutely be willing to leave Los Angeles and find a place with a lot more land like the 160-acre ranch he grew up on. He thinks the only difficulty is that his fiancée might not be able to handle all the work that comes with maintaining a ranch. Jonathan says that even while Deschanel loves horseback riding, she would not be able to completely embrace ranch life because of all the dirty work she would have to do. She rides horses. He says she used to jump, so she loves having horses and room. He goes on, I don't think she likes the dirty work on the ranch very much, but she does like having the space and room to run. Jonathan is eager to leave the city behind and live in the wild, but it might be hard for the two of them to say goodbye to their LA. They worked on their ideal home for years. Jonathan and Deschanel bought the home in 2020 and soon started turning it into a paradise for their blended family. The actress played the role of interior designer, and the skilled builder focused on building the 1938 structure. They were the perfect pair. In the June 2022 issue of the Brothers magazine Drew plus Jonathan reveal, they showed off the finished remodel. Since then, they have used social media to show off the strange and colorful design aspects of their home. The beautiful house has a solarium, an outdoor fireplace, and a multi-purpose office that Deschanel uses as her glam room, music studio, closet, and crafting area. It also has bright wallpaper, vivid tiles, and a beautiful grand staircase. Jonathan asked Deschanel to marry him over a year after they showed off their property. They were on vacation in Scotland with Deschanel's 2 kids, Elsie 10 and Charlie 8, in August 2023. It was a big deal when the celebrity IOU host and Elf actress finally met 4 years after they filmed an episode of Carpool Karaoke with Drew and Zooey's sister Emily in August 2019. A month later, others saw them holding hands, and in October of that year they made it official on Instagram. Jonathan told people that working on Chasing the West was very important to him, even though the pair might not be ready to leave their city life. Twins help families that want to leave their busy lifestyles in the city for a simpler life in the country. They liked looking at a lot of homes in Texas, Arizona, and California with each buyer, but it was also bittersweet. Jonathan told people that working on the new series was kind of bittersweet because he could share what he liked about growing up on a ranch with all of these families. I miss it, though. Being in the mountains was so much joy. Jonathan Scott talks about life with Zooey Deschanel. Definitely an equestrian family. Exclusive HGTV's Chasing the West will take Jonathan and Drew Scott back to their country beginnings. Property brothers are eager to help families live the lifestyle with their new show. They grew up on a 160-acre ranch. Mona Kozar Abdi from Extra talked to the twins, who told her what they learned as kids. Jonathan remarked, "We learned how to work hard on the ranch, and that's how we are now." Drew said, "No whining or complaining, just get in there and do it." Jonathan noted that more and more people were saying, "I'm so sick of the cost of real estate in the city." He said that helping others trade in bustling city life for a tranquil existence was important to him. "How about we move to the country and live a slower life?" Drew said, "We're like the therapist for these families, trying to help them all get on the same page." Drew was on a horse every other day while filming the episode, and now his daughters Parker and Piper are following in his cowboy footsteps. Drew stated, "Parker is 3 years old. He rode for the first time 2 weeks ago. We put him on a pony first, and then he wanted to ride the big horse. It's kind of cool to see him act like a cowboy." But can Jonathan bring out the cowgirl in his actress fiancée Zooey Deschanel? He said, "Zooey is definitely a city girl. She loves the finer things, but she also rides horses. So she used to leap, and now she rides. Kids have also ridden. We are definitely a horse-loving family." "What is it about ranch life that makes it so appealing?" Mona inquired. Jonathan added, It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it. I wouldn't exchange it for anything. HGTV has Chasing the West. When asked if he and Zooey Deschanel will have a televised wedding like his brothers, Jonathan Scott said, "I don't know. Will the Property Brothers get married?" Jonathan and Drew Scott, who are twins who co-host the reality show Property Brothers, have shared a number of important moments in their life. But when it comes to getting married in front of the world, it's not hard to tell them apart, especially after Jonathan Scott's recent comments about his plans to marry Zooey Deschanel, which have been on hold for years. Zooey Deschanel and Jonathan Scott have been together since 2019 and said they will get married in 2023. Scott was asked if he would be interested in having his wedding on TV like Drew Scott did in 2018 while we wait for the sweet celebrity couple to hear wedding bells. This is what he said. Jonathan Scott was very matter-of-fact in an interview with Swoon about saying "I do" in public. He said that there was no way it would happen. Drew Scott had a wedding special on TLC called Drew and Linda Say I Do before this. Couple had 3 months to organize their dream week-long Italian wedding in the Property Brothers special. They had been together for 8 years. It's not like Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel's relationship hasn't been in the news before. They met while filming Carpool Karaoke, the series. They've also reenacted Zooey's famous scene from 500 Days of Summer and brought fans up to date on their relationship throughout the past 6 years. I don't blame the couple for not doing what Drew Scott and Linda did, but consenting to speak their wedding vows in front of the world is a whole other thing. The pair got engaged while on holiday in Scotland with their family. Jonathan Scott had said before that he planned for a pipe band to play Neil Young's Harvest Moon while they were on a beautiful bluff overlooking the city. At the same time, her kids pulled up a banner that said, "Will you marry me?" Of course, the main actress on New Girl said yes. The pair got engaged while on vacation with their family in Scotland. Jonathan Scott had said before that he planned for a pipe band to play Neil Young's Harvest Moon while they were on a beautiful bluff overlooking the city. At the same time, her kids pulled up a banner that said, "Will you marry me?" Of course, the main actress from New Girl said yes. Jonathan Scott has told us that there hasn't been any news about their wedding since then, since they are having a ton of fun and aren't planning the big day yet. Drew Scott, Jonathan Scott's brother, has put some pressure on him to keep him in the know about what they decide because their schedules are often so similar. Property Brothers have a new show called Chasing the West that starts on HGTV this Wednesday, July 30th. In HGTV's Chasing the West, Jonathan and Drew Scott are ready for an adventure. "I love showing these families what they can get outside of the city," Jonathan said, before saying whether he and his longtime girlfriend Zooey Deschanel would think about moving out west. In their new show, Chasing the West, HGTV's favorite twins are leaving the city behind and going to the wide skies. It's a voyage for both work and pleasure. Jonathan and Drew Scott, who are best known for fixing up homes all over the country, talked to 2Fab about their new project. Two are going back to their rural origins as they travel through Texas, Arizona, and California to help families get away from the city and enjoy ranch life. "We've been chasing the West," Jonathan said, looking back on how nostalgic it was to go back to a way of life that the brothers knew well as kids. "We filmed in Texas, Arizona, and California, and it was pretty crazy. Brings back a lot of memories because we grew up on a 160-acre horse ranch with 30 horses and a lot of crops. So it was a lot of joy to show off that way of living." The experience hit home, especially since the brothers helped families make a big transformation in their lives, one that they are still drawn to. Drew said, "Yes, I would live on a ranch full-time again. Maybe not exactly like it was when we were kids because that was a lot of hard labor, like shoveling stalls and all that. But I love the concept of having space and being surrounded by mountains. I'd have a couple of horses, not 30 or 40. Jonathan agreed, saying to 2Fab, "There's something about it. I love showing these families what they can get outside of the city. Their money goes further and their kids have room to run and play. But the bitter part was that I was missing that for ourselves. Even in LA, Zooey and I have an acre. It's nice, but it's not like what we had growing up, right on the edge of the Rocky Mountains. That was the most beautiful country you've ever seen. City life is still home base, but the show opened up new options. Jonathan said that he and his fiancée Zooey Deschanel, who he lovingly described more of a glamping kind of person, even thought about living on a ranch. She rides horses. She used to jump, she rides, and our kids ride, so we're all equestrian, Jonathan added before getting real about what a move like that would mean for their family. But, like Drew said, do we really want to haul bales of hay again? Not likely. Even though they didn't clean stalls every day, the Scotts nonetheless got their hands dirty while they were filming. We'd see who could throw a bale of hay the farthest. Jonathan beat me at roping, Drew added with a giggle. But you'd be shocked how many city slickers think they're ready for this life. There's a saying, all cowboy hat, no cowboy. The show doesn't shy away from the hard work and planning that goes into running a ranch. Drew said that some of these buyers had huge ideas, including wanting horses, chickens, an event space, or a wellness retreat. But they hadn't thought about the money, he said. A lot of them figured out right away that this isn't just a Pinterest board, it's real life. That realness is what makes Chasing the West different from their other shows on home improvements. Jonathan commented, "This show is definitely not the deep dive into renovation with our team. We're showing off properties, and I love that the audience can follow along and try to guess which one the families will choose. They sometimes surprise us by picking the one we didn't expect because it had a lake or more acreage. It's a lot of fun, it's educational, and the views are amazing," Drew said. "We've never filmed a concert that was this lovely." The families on the show had to deal with a lot of problems, much like Drew and Jonathan had, even though the backdrop was beautiful. Drew said, "What ranch life means to us isn't the same for everyone else. So we would really get to know each family and find out what was important to them. We also learn a lot, such that in one area, having bees on your ranch can help you save money on taxes. It was fun to look around. But the best part for the two of them was when the cameras stopped rolling." Jonathan added, "My favorite part was seeing the 'where are they now?' We would follow up months later and see if they had done the renovations. Is it helping them? That was satisfying since all of these families were really living that way. I liked being able to ride a horse again. It's been a long time." Drew said, "My butt hurt a little, but it was like riding a bike." Then there was this homeowner who was obsessed with hens. She wanted hundreds until we took her to a chicken farm and she learned she was scared of chickens. You never know what's going to happen. The Scott brothers have been on HGTV for a long time, and that's not by chance. Even though their show was delayed and the network has had to make big changes to its programming, Drew and Jonathan say they've survived because of their fans and their ability to change with the times. "It's our fans," Drew said. "We always listen to them. Jonathan and I get 500,000 inquiries or comments every week. We change based on what people want to see. Their empire is still going strong because they can adapt and reach people all over the world." Jonathan said, "We distribute our content in 160 countries. That lets us keep the quality high across all of our shows and keep trying new things. I think everyone will appreciate watching Chasing the West since it feels so new and fresh."